Gervais Restaurant, authentique French cuisine in Silicon Valley.
I run global corporate marketing, which means that I'm responsible for all of the kind of central resources that add up to the marketing puzzle. I am responsible for our website, our public relations activity, our branding and advertising team, our events group, and so I basically manage all of that.
So how do you split the different marketing functions? I mean, Henri is Chief Marketing Officer.
Correct.
There is another strategic marketing.
Yeah.
How do you split that marketing?
Well, I report to Henri Richard, and he stands on top of both sales and marketing. And so I run corporate marketing, and then I have a couple of gentlemen who run segment marketing who are peers of mine. Marty Sire is responsible for commercial marketing, and he's a gentleman to whom Bruce reports. And then he has a peer named Joe Menard who runs consumer marketing. And so that's how we divide up the segments. And then we have field marketing resources scattered around the world, and our job is to coordinate with them to make sure that we put effective marketing campaigns in the market, and to make sure that it's all brand compliant.
Give us some examples of those campaigns that
Sure.
you...
Well, we're in the middle of a pretty effective campaign to the enterprise community here in North America that Bruce Shaw runs. It's a campaign that establishes our leadership with respect to power consumption in the data center, and we're using it actually also to launch our new corporate brand direction around positioning AMD as a smarter choice. And so we run that program out of our commercial team, but it's done in tight collaboration with our corporate marketing team. And so there's advertising that we've been running for the last 6 months, and enterprise online events are an important part of that. But there's also a number of other activities that we have in place that are a little bit less visible. We're training our strategic partners' sales forces to know how to sell our AMD technology and where it's most appropriate, and mostly establishing our value proposition, which is we're a much better performance per watt platform for our partners, and that's a very important value proposition for IT decision makers.
So obviously AMD is competing against Intel, and Intel has, I would assume, has a much more powerful marketing budget and muscles and etc. So how do you find? Obviously it's a hard, difficult competition, but how do you?
Well, it keeps us on our toes. We'd like to think that you can beat power and dollars with finesse, and in this case, we have had the benefit of really superior technology for a while, especially in the data center. But we're a company that takes pride in what we call customer-centric innovation, which is our innovation is grounded in what we learn from our customers and their customers, and as long as we continue to stick to that, we believe we'll be able to come up with better technology that is superior in terms that our customers will pay for and will attach value to. And so we believe we can just be the smarter choice, and so that's what we aspire to be. We realize the power of online marketing, and in fact for the IT decision-making community in particular, they get much more information online than offline. Now we've complemented this recent campaign with some offline advertising, simply because we know we needed to invest in a little bit more brand awareness in general. But you'll find everything we do is very much oriented to driving people online, and we take advantage of some important online marketing tools.
Google AdWords.
We do that, yes. We've also created with the company that developed what you saw here tonight, we developed something called the Enterprise Online Event Series, which has been very successful in establishing our value proposition, but also positioning AMD with our partners. Much of our marketing is done in close collaboration with our partners, and so it allows us to feature an online event like that, allows us to feature our strong collaboration with Microsoft, with Novell, with Oracle, with HP, and in doing that we position ourselves as a strong partner of those companies, which is what we want to stand for.
Gervais Restaurant, authentique French cuisine in Silicon Valley.
The IT community actually, I think, is quite global in that what the issues that they're experiencing in Europe are very much the same issues that IT decision makers experience here in the United States. You're just seeing different patterns of adoption when you start to move into markets like China and other places where they're really just starting to buy IT investment. But
perhaps in terms of sponsorship, we see in Europe, we see AMD in Formula One.
Oh, sure.
Football and
yes.
Tour de France.
Yes. Now we do try to, when it comes to sponsorships, we try to choose partners that reinforce certain values that we want attached to the corporate brand. So in the case of both Ferrari and Lance Armstrong and the Discovery Channel cycling team, they stand for performance and for competition, and those are things we want to stand for and we want associated with our brand. They also happen to stand for winning, and we're very proud of those relationships because both Lance Armstrong and the Discovery Channel team and the Ferrari team use our technology as a source of competitive advantage. So we're very proud of those relationships and very proud of what they mean to our customer base. We don't sell products on AMD.com. AMD.com is pretty much really just an informational site and something that we use to establish our differentiation. It's a particularly strong resource for our customers to use for information. But in many respects, it allows us to tell our story to an IT decision maker, for instance, or a consumer who's interested in understanding the difference in our platforms from our competitions, and then gives us an opportunity to direct those customers to our customers. So, for instance, we actually provide an interesting comparison shopping capability in our website for PCs, personal computers, because we know that a PC, a processor-aware personal computer buyer might know about AMD and know about our technology and might come to our website, and in that context might actually be interested in knowing where they can buy AMD-based systems, and we actually provide that information and provide competitive offerings in different retail environments and show the current list price for those offerings. So increasingly we're using AMD.com as an important marketing tool and source of leverage, but we have no plans actually to sell any products on AMD.com.
Or having ads or...
No, I would say not. Yeah. Again, our mission in life is to make our customers successful. So everything you're going to find that we do and we spend our money on is actually to try to help our customers be successful. We know from our personal experience, and we know from our customers and partners and from the community of IT decision makers that they spend a lot of time at trade shows. They find value in them. But there are parts of that experience that have always been unfulfilling, and there's a lot of time wasted, and frankly there had to be a better way to get information. And so based on that, we started to think about whether or not there might be an opportunity to take part of a trade show experience and make it more virtual. And there's something else that happened in that time frame, but in the last 4 or 5 years you see people with desktops and frankly bandwidth to those desktops that finally allows the experience to be something that could handle a very immersive user experience. And so it's been an interesting confluence of technology coupled with the knowledge that we have of the typical user experience at trade shows that gave us the insight to think, boy, the time is right for us to consider doing this. And our partners thought it was a brilliant idea and wanted to jump on board, and so the rest is what you saw here today, which is the AMD virtual IT experience. And we're hoping that it's going to generate a lot of industry interest and again position us as a strong partner for a lot of the partner companies that you saw who joined us in this effort.
Do you think that will replace a trade show?
You know, trade shows have great value, so I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to say that the trade shows will go away. Most of the value that people I think have in trade shows comes from the personal experience of meeting people and spending some time talking to them. We could never replace that in a virtual experience, but there is a definite percentage of people's time and energy spent doing things they don't want to do at a trade show. Waiting in line for a cab, waiting in line for a hot dog, sitting through a demonstration they really didn't want to have to sit through. And so what we do is allow the user in this case to kind of skip all that and get straight to the information that they want to find. And we're optimistic that you know, a growing percentage of people are going to want to choose this over spending their time doing those things. The other thing that a virtual experience like this provides is opportunity to reach a much broader audience than a typical trade show, because we don't require you to travel. And so as long as you're speaking English in this case, no matter where you are in the world, you get the benefit of access to this information. And so we're going to actually expand the universe of people who might be interested in this content. And then over time, what I'm optimistic about is that you're actually going to be able to do things in this virtual environment you couldn't do in the physical world. And oh, well, we'll be able to structure fly-throughs. We'll be able to allow somebody to fly through a server. And we'll be able to show them certain features and functionality that we'll be able to provide, and be able to demonstrate that in a fairly compelling way with the kind of simulations you can do that I think you saw we can do here technically. So you could never do that, you know, in a trade show experience. I'd like to think this is an example of marketing 2.0 because it actually takes advantage of current and next generation technology, and to a certain extent represents a better alternative to the traditional way of communicating and providing people with information. But what we're continuing to explore is obviously the use of online and web-based technology to allow us to push interested parties to our customers more efficiently. And if this is any example, this is just beginning. This is just the beginning of what we're going to be able to do to help people find the information they want, to be able to get access to AMD technology in the form of our customers and partners' products. So it's all just starting.
Gervais Restaurant, authentic French cuisine in Silicon Valley.